gazed blearily around the room and continued. For a few years, the founders worked in harmony together, seeking out youngsters who showed signs of magic and bringing them to the castle to be educated. But then disagreements sprang up between them. A rift began to grow between Slytherin and the others. Slytherin wished to be more selective about the students admitted to Hogwarts. He believed that magical learning should be kept within all magic families. He disliked taking students of Muggle parentage, believing them to be untrustworthy. After a while, there was a serious argument on the subject between Slytherin and Gryffindor, and Slytherin left the school. Professor Binns paused again, pursing his lips, looking like a wrinkled tortoise. Reliable historical sources tell us this much, he said, but these honest facts have been obscured by the fanciful legend of this Chamber of Secrets. The story goes that Slytherin had built of a hidden chamber in the castle of which the founders knew nothing. Slytherin, according to the legend, sealed the Chamber of Secrets so that none would be able to open it until his own true hire arrived at the school. The hire alone would be able to unseal the Chamber of Secrets, unleash the horror within, and use it to purge the school of who were all untrustworthy to study magic. There was silence as he finished telling the story, but it wasn't the usual sleepy silence that filled Professor Binns' classes. There was unease in the air, and everyone continued to watch him, hoping for more. But Professor Binns looked faintly annoyed. The whole thing is arrant nonsense, of course, he said. Naturally, the school had been searched for evidence of such a chamber many times by the most learned witches and wizards. It does not exist. A tale told to frighten the gullible. Hermione's hand was back in the air. Sir, what do you mean by the horror within the chamber? That is believed to be some sort of monster, which the hire of Slytherin alone can control, said Professor Binns in his dry, reedy voice. The class exchanged nervous looks. I tell you, the thing does not exist, said Professor Binns, shuffling his notes. There's no chamber and no monster. But, sir, said Seamus Finnegan, if the chamber can only be opened by Slytherin's true hire, no one else would be able to find it, would they? Nonsense of hilarity, said Professor Binns in an aggravated tone. As long as if a succession of Hogwarts headmistresses haven't found the thing. But Professor, piped up Parvati Patil, you probably have to use dark magic to open it. Just because a wizard doesn't use dark magic doesn't mean he can't. Miss Pennyfeather, snapped Professor Binns. I repeat, if the likes of Dumbledore, maybe you've got to relate you got to be related to Slytherin. So Dumbledore couldn't begin Dean Thomas, but Professor Binns had enough. This sword, it is a myth. It does not exist. There is not a shred of evidence that Slytherin ever built so much as a secret broom cupboard. I regret telling you such a foolish story. We will return to history, a solid, believable, verifiable fact. Within 5 minutes, the class has sunk back into its usual torpor. I always knew Salazar Slytherin was a twisted old loony, one told Harry and Hermione as they fought their way through the teeming corridor at the end of the lesson to drop off their bags before dinner. But I never knew he started all this pure blood stuff. I wouldn't be in his house if you paid me. Honestly, if the sorting hat had tried to put me in Slytherin, I'd got the train straight back home. Hermione nodded furiously, but Harry didn't say anything. His stomach had dropped unpleasantly. Harry had never told Ron and Hermione that the sorting hat had seriously considered putting him into Slytherin. He could remember as though it was yesterday the small voice that had spoken in his ear when he placed the hat on his head a year before. It could be great, you know. It's all here in your head, and Slytherin would help you on the way to greatness, no doubt about that. Harry, who had already heard of Slytherin House's reputation for turning out dark wizards, and had thought desperately, not Slytherin, and the hat had said, "Oh well, if you're sure, better be Gryffindor," and they were shunted along the throng. Colin Creevy went past. "Hiya, Harry." "Hello, Colin," said Harry automatically. Harry, a boy in my class had been saying, but Colin was so small he couldn't fight against the tide of people bearing him towards the Great Hall. They heard him squeak, "See you, Harry," and he was gone. What's a boy in your class? What's a boy in his class saying about you?" Hermione wondered. "That I'm the Slytherin hire, I expect," said Harry. His stomach dropped another inch or so, and as he remembered the way Justin Finch Fletchley had run away from him at lunchtime. "People here will believe anything," said Ron in disgust. The crowd thinned, and they were able to climb the next staircase without difficulty. "Do you really think there's a Chamber of Secrets?" Ron asked Hermione. "I don't know," she said, frowning. "Dumbledore couldn't cure Mrs. Norris. That makes me think whatever attacked her might not be, well, human." As she spoke, they turned a corner and found themselves at the very end of the corridor where the attack had happened. They looked at each other. The corridor was deserted. "Can't hurt to have a poke around," said Harry, dropping his bag and getting to his hands and knees. so that he could crawl along, searching for clues. Scorch marks, he said, here and here. Come and look at this. This is funny. Harry got up and crossed to the window. Hermione was pointing at the topmost pane, where around 20 spiders were scuttling, apparently fighting to get through a small crack in the glass. A long silvery thread was dangling like a rope, as though they had climbed it in the hurry to get outside. Have you ever seen spiders act like that? Said Hermione wonderingly. No, said Harry. Have you one? One? He looked over his shoulder. One was standing well back and seemed to be fighting the impulse to run. What's up? Said Harry. I don't like spiders, said Ron tensely. I never knew that, said Hermione, looking at Harry and looking at Ron in surprise. You've used spiders in potions loads of times. I don't mind them dead, said Ron, who's carefully. Are you looking anywhere but at the window? I just don't like the way they move. Hermione giggled. It's not funny, said Ron fiercely. You must know, when I was 3, Fred turned my teddy bear into a dirty great spider because I broke his toy broomstick. You wouldn't like them either if you'd have been holding your bear and suddenly it had too many legs and he broke off shuddering. Hermione was obviously still trying not to laugh, feeling that they'd better got off the subject. Harry said, the water on the floor. He reached for the brass doorknob, but suddenly withdrew his hand as though he'd been burned. What's the matter? Said Harry. Can't go in there, said Ron gruffly. That's a girl's toilet. Oh, Ron. Let's have a look. And ignoring the large out-of-door sign, she opened the door. It was the gloomiest, most depressing bathroom Harry had ever set foot in. Under a large crack-spotted mirror was a row of chipped stone sinks. The floor was damp and reflected the dull light given off by the stubs of the few candles burning low in the holders. The wooden doors to the cubicles were flaking and scratched, and one of them was dangling off its hinges. Hermione put her fingers to the end and set off the end cubicle. When she reached it, she said, "Hello, Myrtle. How are you?" This is a girl's bathroom. Oh, hello, Myrtle. How are you? Harry and Ron went to look. Moaning Myrtle was floating on the cistern of the toilet, picking a spot on her chin. This is a girl's bathroom, she said. Eyeing Ron and Hermione suspiciously. They're not girls. No, Hermione agreed. I just want to show them how nice it is in here. She waved vaguely at the old dirty mirror on the damp floor. Asked her if she saw anything. Harry mouthed at Hermione. What are you whispering? Said Myrtle, staring at him. Nothing, said Harry quickly. We wanted to ask. I wish people could stop talking behind a bear, said Myrtle in a voice choked with tears. I do have feelings, you know, even if I am dead. Myrtle, no one wants to upset you. Harry only no one wants to upset me. That's a good one, howled Myrtle. My life was nothing but misery at this place, and now people come along, ruining my death. We wanted to ask you if you can sing anything funny lately, said Hermione quickly. But because a cat was attacked outside your front door on Halloween. Did you see anyone live here that night? I wasn't paying attention, said Myrtle dramatically. Pigs upset me so much I came here to try to kill myself. Then of course I remembered that I'm already dead, said Ron helpfully. Myrtle gave a tragic sob, rose up in the air, turned over and dived headfirst into the toilet, splashing water all over them and vanishing from sight. From the direction of her muffled sobs, she had come somewhere to rest in the U-bend. Harry and Ron stood with his mouth open, but Hermione shrugged slowly and said, honestly, that was almost cheerful for Myrtle. Come on, let's go. Harry had barely closed the door on Myrtle's gurgling sobs when a loud voice made all three of them jump. Run! Percy Weasley had stood dead at the head of the stairs. Perfect prefect by a gleam, an expression of complete shock on his face. That's a gold button. What were you? Just having a look around. Clues, you know. Percy swirled in a manner that reminded Harry forcefully of Mrs. Weasley. Get away from there, he said, striding towards them and starting to chivvy them along, flapping his arms. Don't you care what this looks like? Coming back here while everyone's at dinner? Why shouldn't we be here? Said Ron hotly, stopping short and glaring at Percy. Listen, we never laid a finger on that cat. That's what I told Ginny, said Percy fiercely. But she still thinks you're going to be expelled. I've never seen her so upset, crying her eyes out. You might think of her. All the first years excited by this business. You don't care about Ginny. Said Ron, whose ears were reddening now. You just worry I'm going to mess up your chance of being head boy. 5 points from Gryffindor, Percy said tersely, fingering his prefect badge. And I hope it teaches you a lesson. No more detective work or I'll write to Mum. And he showed off. The back of his neck as red as Ron's ears. Harry wanted Hermione to a seat as far as possible from Percy in the common room that night. Ron was still in a very bad temper and he kept blotting his charms homework. When he reached absently for his wand to remove the smudges, it ignited the parchment. Fuming almost as much as his homework, Ron slammed the standard book of spells grade 2. To Harry's surprise, Hermione followed suit. Who could it be? Though she said in a quiet voice, as though continuing a conversation they had just been having. Who'd want all the squibs and muggle borns out of Hogwarts? Let's think, said Ron in puzzlement. Who do we know who thinks muggle borns are a scum? He looked at Hermione. Hermione looked back unconvinced. If you're talking about Malfoy, of course I am, said Ron. You heard him. You'll be next, mudbloods. Come on, you only got to look at his foul rat face to note him. Malfoy, the High of Slytherin, said Hermione skeptically. Look at his family, said Harry, closing his books. Too. The whole lot of them have been Slytherin, and he's always boasting about it. They could easily be Slytherin's descendants. His father's definitely evil enough. They could have had the key to the Chamber of Secrets for centuries, said one, handing it down father to son. Well, said Hermione cautiously, I suppose it's possible. But how do we prove it? Said Harry darkly. There must be a way, said Hermione, slowly dropping her voice still further with a quick glance across the room at Percy. Of course, it would be difficult and dangerous, very dangerous. We'd be breaking about 50 school rules, I expect. In a month or so, if you feel like explaining, you will let us know, won't you? All right, said Hermione coldly. What we need to do is get inside the Slytherin common room and ask Malfoy a few questions without him realizing it's us. That's impossible, Harry said as Ron laughed. No, it's not, said Hermione. All we need to do would be some polyjuice potions. What's that? Said Ron and Hermione together. Snape mentioned it in class a few weeks ago. Do you think we've got nothing better to do in Pojam than listen to Snape, muttered Ron. It transforms you into someone else. Think about it. we could change into 3 of the Slytherins. No one would notice us. Malfoy would probably tell us anything. He's probably boasting about it in Slytherin common room. Right now. If we could hear him. This polyjuice stuff sounds a bit dodgy, said Ron frowning. What if we were stuck looking 3 of the Slytherins forever? It wears off after a while, said Hermione, waving her hand impatiently. But getting hold of the recipe will be very difficult. Snape said it was in a book called Potions, and it's bound to be in the restricted section of the library. There's only one way to get a book out from the restricted section. You need a note. You need a signed note of permission from a teacher. Hard to see why we'd want the book, really, if we weren't going to try and make one of the potions. I think, said Hermione, if we just think it made it sound as though we're introducing at theory, we might stand a chance. Oh, come on! No teacher's going to fall for that, said Hermione. They'd have to be really thick. The end of chapter 9. Bye-bye.